Well, good afternoon, friends. Good afternoon. Hope you're doing well today on this reasonably warm September day here, at least in Alberta anyway. And welcome. Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Dune and Friends. My name is Dune Wynn. I'm your host today again. And as I am every weekday for the past few months since COVID here. And today we have a fantastic guest joining us all the way from, in fact, very near to where I am today. In fact, in the Edmonton area. And we have Paula joining us, Paula Wischoff Yerama joining us. And hopefully you can still hear me in the green room there, Paula. Wonderful, wonderful. So for those who are watching live online here, feel free to comment and ask Paula questions and engage in the conversation. Certainly, even after the live broadcast, you can certainly engage there as well. But let me do a quick introduction of our guest today. Again, is Paula. And Paula Wischoff Yerama, most well known for her practically famous garlic dill pickles to die for, peanut butter, marshmallow squares. Paula is also a passionate career development professional, aspiring bodybuilder, and lover of all things miniature. When she is not promoting her or providing career development services, she can be found either in her kitchen making jams, jellies, pickles, and relishes, and other canned delights, or at the gym training. Paula is a proud certified career development professional who is actively involved with her provincial and national professional associations, and a career transition coordinator working with the military members who are retiring or are releasing from the Canadian Forces. Her excitement for canning and baking led her to start Paula's Pantry more than a decade ago. And she has found selling her preserves and sweet treats at the Fort Saskatchewan Farmers Market during the summer. With that wonderful introduction, friends, please help me in joining me in welcoming our guest, Paula Wischoff Yerama. How are you doing today, my friend? How are you, Paula?
I'm great, Dune. Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be able to have a coffee with you today.
Yeah, you bet. You know, let's start with that. I don't have coffee, but I have what looks like apple juice.
Oh, there you go.
Cheers.
I've got
Cheers.
My cheers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure what flavor it is. I pulled a pot and espresso.
Yeah. So Paula, give us a bit of an expanded intro beyond the bio, my friend. Tell us what got you here and paint a broad picture along the way before we get into some deeper conversations there and showing some photos and videos and really just sharing your stories and insights with our viewers. Yeah, catch us up on your background, my friend.
Sure. So I grew up on a farm in northern Alberta. So I'm a farm girl at heart and spent, many summers doing farm girl things, gardening and helping look after animals and, helping mom in the kitchen. We had a wood stove. That was all we had for heat and cooking. So, certainly I have much nicer amenities now to do my canning, but I remember stoking the fire and, keeping things going so that we could have things ready for the winter, of course, as is farm life. And then moved to Olds when I was in about grade 6 and ventured into city life, which was, it felt like the big city. It was less than 5,000 people at the time, but it sure did feel like a big city after having lived on the farm. And then kind of grew up in and around central Alberta. Never really quite knew what I wanted to do with my life, but knew that I liked helping people and knew that, supporting people and inspiring people and leading people was something that kind of came naturally to me. So after high school, I did a business administration diploma. not long after that, I did a rehabilitation services diploma. And career development kind of found me. And what was a wonderful combination of those two things, the business side of things and the, the helping end of things. Much later in life, I went back to school and got my degree in human resources and have been kind of living the portfolio career life for the last 12 years, I guess it's been. Yeah. And really enjoying the variety and being able to, take advantage of opportunities that have presented themselves along the way. Paula's Pantry being one, which I, quite enjoy, and just doing lots of different contracts and work professionally in the career development field. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that a bit of an expanded intro there. Now, you mentioned that you have been working a lot with the military. Maybe let's start there. How did you end up working with the military? I mean, that's not a typical career path for most people. By the way, I have worked with the military back in 1991 while I was actually at NATE. While I was actually in school, I worked with the D&D, Department of National Defense, and did a project for them. But tell us about how you got into that work.
Awesome. So it wasn't something that I had intentionally sought out. There was, several years ago now, there was a contract through Veterans Affairs to deliver career transition workshops to military members that were preparing for their exit from the military. And I got a phone call one day out of the blue from the contract manager for that particular contract, who had got my name from, I don't even know who it was. Someone had given them my name and said, "Oh, Paula's a great facilitator. You should connect with her." Asked me if I was interested, and it's yes, of course, absolutely, I would love to. So I started out just going to the base in Edmonton. I did Edmonton, Cold Lake, Wainwright. Where else did I go? Kind of that area, and facilitated 3-day career transition workshops. And then there was a change in the way that services was delivered. It was pulled back into the military. And so that contract ended. But the folks that I had been working with at the office there were interested in finding a way to keep me around and to help them do their work with the transitioning military members. And so I started with a casual contract with the Department of National Defense in 2000. And I'm a horrible historian, Dune. I'm so sorry. My dates
2000 something.
2000 something or other. I think it was about 2012. And so I've been doing casual contracts, which with the Department of National Defense means 90 days in the calendar year. So I've been doing that for about the last 8 years. And really enjoy it. So, part of it is working with the members directly and helping them with their planning for their futures outside of the military. Part of it is planning and hosting what we call SCAN seminars, Second Career Assistance Network seminars. So basically, kind of all the things that you need to think about when you're getting out. And it's been really rewarding. I really enjoy helping those that have served, and I really enjoy the challenge of working in that environment as well.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. And if I could just highlight the fact that in a way, the military have found you, my friend. They reached out and through contacts, and again, it's good to have people aware of what services you provide, because and the level that you provide it, and the quality that you've provided, because you never know where opportunities can come from, right?
That's so true. Well, and that has definitely been pretty much my entire career. Have been opportunities knocking on my door, and I mean, I've gone through different phases for sure. Some where I've said no to just about everything. Some where I've said yes to too many things, and I'm starting to kind of find the balance now.
Isn't that how life works? As we get to a certain age in life and certain segment of our career, we get to a bit of a balance kind of mix, if you will. But I'm not surprised to hear that you have that pendulum has swung both directions for a little while. Yeah. So tell us, my friend, let's just fast forward to the current day. Let us talk a little bit about that, and we're going to go into that time machine and go back in time again. We're going to just play with this timeline here, my friend. But Paula, tell us about your bodybuilding journey and a bit about that. I know I have some photos as well that I can bring up, but let's have you start talking about that first.
Sure. Oh, I'm sure my face just lit right up. I never thought that it would be something that I would do. I mean, I found fitness at 40, which isn't that long ago, only about 5 years ago. And when I found fitness, bodybuilding certainly wasn't even on my radar. I mean, I was doing boot camps and spin classes, which were wonderful. And then I started doing obstacle course racing, which was also a ton of fun. And at some point along the way, I discovered that I really enjoyed lifting weights, and I really enjoyed seeing my body change. Every time I saw a little bit of muscle, I got like super, super excited. And I mean, I had friends that had competed in bodybuilding competitions, not a lot, but a couple. And I was just intrigued. Obstacle course racing was starting to take a real toll on my body. And I just wasn't sure if I was cut out to do that for, kind of the long term. And so in 2017, late in 2017, I retired from obstacle course race, semi-retired from obstacle course racing. And I found a coach and I said, hey, I found a federation that I wanted to compete with. I found a division that I thought was going to be a good fit for me, that kind of fit with my level of comfort. I found a coach and I said, I want to compete in May. This was in November. And he said, okay. So I don't know if I have any of my, I don't think I shared with you any of the before I started pictures, but I certainly didn't look anything like I do in the picture on the right. That was my first competition. I had lost 30 pounds before I got on stage, and I didn't even recognize myself on stage. I mean, of course, we're spray tanned and I've got my hair done and all the fancy makeup, and I'm wearing a sparkly bikini, which would have never happened anywhere else.
Well, it's the same as musicians. We do our craft. We practice and we rehearse, but the stage lights doesn't hurt either, right?
Right. Yeah. And after that first competition, the bug bit me hard. And all I wanted was to do one more show and do better than I had done and to look better than I had looked. I took a bit of flack from people about, why do you want to be so skinny, and, body image. And there was a whole lot of stuff that I got some flack for. And for me, it was never about being skinny. It was about seeing how far I could push myself, seeing how disciplined I could be, seeing how focused I could be, seeing if I had enough grit to be able to go through what you have to go through to get stage ready. I loved the process so much. I loved that every day when I looked in the mirror, I could see little changes. I loved the way that I felt. I loved the routine and the structure. I followed a really strict meal plan and a really strict training program. And I loved that structure and routine because for the most part, my life is really chaotic. A portfolio career is chaotic. I'm managing, all these different contracts and trying to figure out which email address I'm supposed to be using to contact which person. And
yeah. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. So on top of the things that you do it in a contract mode. So you are obviously always juggling many different things, including perhaps the next contract or the next additional piece of work and things like that. So yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Been there.
So nice to have that structure and routine. And yeah, so I did my first show in May of 2018. I did my second show in May of 2019. That's the picture in the middle. And then I was supposed to be competing next weekend in Calgary for my third show, but unfortunately, COVID, and the show was canceled. So I did a photo shoot instead last week. We've been working really hard to prepare for that show. And so, yeah, I'm aiming for May of 2021 for my next big debut.
Yeah. Let's while we're on this particular topic, I'm going to bring in a few other similar photos. So there you are again. How long ago was this? 2018, perhaps, or?
Yeah. So the green bikini on the right was in May of 2018. The purple one in the middle was May of 2019, and the picture on the far left with the black shorts and the super cute little sport bra, it was on sale. I had to have it. It was last week.
I feel that way about guitars, so I understand.
There you go.
Yeah, you are having fun with the bunch.
Oh my gosh. So these girls, this group of girls drove all the way from Edmonton to Calgary for my first show to cheer me on and support me.
Yeah.
If there was an award for most supportive fan group, these girls definitely won. They were the superstars of the show. And I was just so honored and felt so proud to have them there with me. It was pretty special.
Fantastic. That's great. Now I have what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a few other photos that are related to that, but keep on talking, my friend, while we're on this topic here. So what were some of the key lessons that you have learned from that journey? I can imagine what they might be, but I'd love to hear your perspective on, you went through that journey and you're loving it and you're going to continue doing it to whatever levels make sense. What are some key insights that you got resonated with you?
So it has been for me, I mean, as much as there's been a physical transformation, obviously, I would say that I've had to do so much mental and emotional work that I didn't expect. Like, I didn't think that was going to be a part of it. I was like, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to eat my meals and follow my meal plan, and voila, I'm going to be on the stage. But I learned so much about myself and, who I am and what makes me tick and how I can, overcome obstacles and challenges, because there are lots. And when I'm making cookies and peanut butter marshmallow squares to take to the farmer's market, and I'm deep in prep and, can't eat any of it, like, how do you resist that temptation? So I learned a lot about my inner strength, and my motivation. And I think more recently, like probably in the last, 8 to 10 months or so, I've really found some confidence that I may have had it, but I didn't know it was there. Even with those first two competitions, getting on stage certainly took a level of confidence. But I would say in the last 10 months or so, I've found a new level of confidence. And the photo shoot definitely helped with that. I started to see myself in a different way than I ever had before. And I don't know, I just felt different after that. Like, it was like something clicked inside me, and I just got really excited for the future. I mean, I've always been excited, but I'm like next level excited now.
Yeah. In other words, the limiting beliefs and the the blocks that were there before and say, this is where my limit is, has been moved. Those posts have been moved, and you forever know that it can be moved, and it has been moved, and you moved it.
Yeah. Like even in the last 2 weeks, my workouts, like I've added a tremendous amount of weight to some of the exercises that I do, you know, things that I thought I would never be able to lift more than or push more than. And last week it was like, I'm going to add another 45-pound plate on there. And did it. I was like, oh my gosh, who am I? Like, how did you do that?
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing these stories. We're going to get back in the timeline in just a moment and talk about your Rough Mudder and all those different activities there and obstacle races and things like that. But while we're on this, again, topic of bodybuilding, I know that, you know, everybody who I have ever kind of talked with about bodybuilding, whether it's male or female, have very much the same similar kind of set of insights. And that is while you're building your body, you're actually really tearing down and building your mind up as well in the process. Because really, the way I look at it is anything that is at the high level of performance in any field of life requires those fundamental rewiring of the brain. You don't get to that level without pushing through some of those, what I'm going to call transferable skills or transferable character traits that you hone along the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So what's your thought on this newfound kind of activity? Is that something that you maintain for the foreseeable future?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how long I'll compete for, but I mean, I've got a good another couple of competitions in me for sure. And I think more than anything, you know, even if I didn't, you know, even if I did 2 or 3 more competitions and then stopped competing, I don't think that I will ever stop training. Like, I love it. There's no feeling that I get that is more amazing than like knowing that it's time to go to the gym. Like I look forward to that time every day so much. I'll be one of those like 80-year-old women in the gym. You know, hopefully I'll be rocking a sports bra in the gym. I'm not brave enough to do that yet, but maybe by the time I'm 80, I'll be like, whatever, wear my sports bra and go like lift some weights.
Yeah.
I love the lifestyle. I love, I don't know. I love everything about it so much. I love the people that I've met. I mean, I've met amazing people with all of the things that I've done. It
just add another dimension to your life. You know, you were quite focused on, of course, family, and then of course the career development and serving our military personnel, and obviously honored to be doing that, and all of those perspectives there. But when we switch from that to this other side of bodybuilding and competing in that, you're going to be interacting with some different people with different backgrounds and perspectives and challenges and motivation and insights, and you just sort of round out your perspective, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's the one thing that's really for me. I mean, everything else that I do is for other people, and this is the one place where I get to be, a little bit selfish and do something for me that I love. So,
yeah. Tell us about this photo. I see. What do I see down there on the bottom there?
It's the platter of cupcakes.
I love them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, 5 of them.
I think so. 5. Yeah, 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's the little tray of cupcakes, and I've got the one in my hand. Oh my gosh, I had like more fun doing this photo shoot than I've had in my entire life doing anything. I am not a model, like not by any wild stretch. So we get there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do, and my photographer just kind of looks at me like, "What do you mean you don't know what to do?" I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know how to stand or how to move or what I should be doing. So we started out with like, just have fun, like just, pretend you're excited, be goofy. Within about 3 seconds flat, this was me hamming it up. And you know, being a goofball and having tons of fun. Yeah.
Love it.
So much fun.
I love the composition. It's a black and white, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the composition and the color, and even that the cupcakes there, it's just a great photo for all the various reasons. Wow,
and the shoes. I love those shoes.
Oh yeah, polka dots.
They have polka dots, dude.
Yeah, awesome, fantastic.
Coincidentally, so does my sweater. I didn't plan that, actually.
You like that, hey?
Well, who knew?
Yeah. I think there's a couple more that I'm going to bring up for this segment of the conversation before we move to the next segment, my friend. But
Sure.
Do you have a story of maybe a low point in your bodybuilding journey where you can feel free to share about what that was about, and maybe just so people get a sense of, you know, it's not all uphill from there. It's all not excitement. And so tell us a low point, and then maybe also tell us a high point of the bodybuilding journey. Sure.
So, I mean, I think probably the lowest point for me was after my first show. You know, when you're planning a wedding or you're looking forward to graduation, or, you know, there's a big event and you plan and you plan and you plan and you prepare and you prepare and you prepare, and then the thing happens and then it's done. After my first show, I was like, oh my gosh, now what? Like, it was like, I've spent all of these months, you know, so focused, so driven, so motivated, so following my structure and my routine, and, you know, not ever wavering for 1 second from what my coach told me to do. And then it was just over. And I didn't place. I came in last at that first. I came in last at my second competition too, which was hard. Not that I expected to win, but a part of me did. Like, I'm really competitive, and I really always want to be the best and do the best that I can. And when I didn't, I was really disappointed in myself. And so the kind of the post-show, I call it the post-show blues. The post-show blues combined with not placing and wondering if this was, you know, if I should even bother continuing. I mean, I was in a bit of a situational depression for, I don't know, probably a month or so. And then I kind of dug myself out of that. And I was like, you know what, if I care so much about not doing well, then I need to do it again. And, you know, I need to try harder. I need to work harder. I need to, you know, do better, be better, so that I can, you know, maybe have a different outcome. And things didn't go as well as I had hoped at my second show either. But still, it didn't deter me. So, you know, those low points, I think, have been a real source of motivation for me. And, you know, if you love something, and I love being on stage. I feel like a completely different person when I'm on stage. I don't know. There's something that happens when I get that tan on and that suit on and my hair and my makeup done and I put my heels on. There's just something that changes inside me. And so knowing that those low points might come, and if they do come, being able to overcome them, I think, you know, those have been some of the highest high points for me, is getting refocused and re-energized and re-excited about something that I enjoy doing and that I love doing and that I want to continue to do.
Look at the determination in those eyes there. Just I love it.
I love that picture.
Now,
I will do this.
Yeah. I'm going to bring in one more photo on this segment, my friend. But so tell us that the high point. What was the highest point of this bodybuilding journey? And do you have a story with that?
So I've had a couple of different coaches throughout my time doing this. And the day that my current coach told me that he saw potential in me, and that he thought that, there was a good possibility that we could get me to a top 3 placing, was like, my eyes just sparkled, because I had never believed that was a possibility. Like, I thought if I continued to compete, I would compete because it was something that I loved to do, but that I would never do well at it. So hearing him say that gave me, was a little bit of fuel on my fire, and really, got me excited to work for that. And, it may not happen. I'm fully prepared for that not to happen, but I am working like I'm going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to switch gear over to, let's go to, I'm going to go to the pickles and the all of the stuff that you do that is with the farmers market and all that. And then we're going to get to the Tough Mudder and the other side of things. We're going to kind of sandwich that in the middle there. So tell us about that part of your life, where how long ago did you know you were kind of interested in that and passionate about that? And tell us about that.
So, we always had, canning and baking and stuff like that on the farm when I was growing up. Mom very much, and still does, does a lot of canning and baking and gardening and all those sorts of things. So when Jay, my husband, and I bought our house in 2006, oh dear, see, I'm so bad. I knew that I wanted to have a garden. And so we had a little garden, and then out of the garden came things that needed to be dealt with. Like there was tomatoes and, onions and beets and carrots and all of the things. And so out of this, I knew obviously that things were going to come out of the garden and I was going to need to deal with them, but the amount of them seemed like quite a lot more than I had anticipated. And so, I basically just started doing canning for us and gave it away as gifts. I'm the world's worst shopper, dude. When it comes to buying gifts for people, I am the worst. But I love giving homemade gifts. So I, for a couple of years, I gave people relish and jam and pickles for Christmas. And it didn't take long for people to start asking if they could buy stuff from me. And I thought, why in the world would you want to buy stuff from me? I'm giving it to you for free. Like, what's wrong with you people? So I thought, well, I guess I could sell you a jar of relish. And it kind of just expanded from there. So I started Paula's Pantry. It's been at least 10 years I've been at the farmers market. And it started out with going and sharing a booth with a friend. And then it was getting my own booth. And then people were, wanting to order on the side. And then there was a Facebook page. And then there was Christmas markets. Like it just kind of got bigger and bigger. So not this year, but last year, I made 500 pounds of cucumbers into garlic dill pickles. 500 pounds. It was about 400-ish jars of pickles. It was absolute insanity.
So in our small town of Edmonton, we can call you the pickle lady.
Right? My pickles have now been enjoyed, I don't know, clear across Canada.
Wow. So
yeah.
you shipped as well, is what I'm hearing. Is that right?
Well, no, I don't. I don't ship. I sometimes pack things in my suitcase when I travel, though. I have been known to wrap dill pickles in Ziploc bags inside sweaters, stick them inside shoes in hopes that they'll get everywhere safely.
I can just imagine those people at the airport, right? Let's scan this thing. Yeah. There's a laptop. There's an iPad. And lots of dill pickle.
Craziness.
Yeah. So farmers market, is that Sunday typically, or?
It's Thursdays in the fort. It's Thursday, so it runs from like the middle of June to the middle of September. This year I was just there. I only did 4 markets this year, and I did every other week, which was manageable. It's hard because early in the season I don't usually have a lot of stock. Like the cucumbers aren't quite ready. The peaches aren't out yet. I'm waiting for stuff in the garden to grow. So later in the season,
so you grow your own pickles and cucumbers and all that?
No, oh my gosh, I don't even know how much of that I would need. I actually, I've been buying from Erdman's greenhouse. They're just up by Westlock. They're phenomenal. They have the most amazing quality cucumbers. So I've been buying from them for the last at least 5 years, and that's been a good little partnership we've got going.
You mentioned Westlock. I don't know if you know, but that's where I came to when I came to Canada. Yeah.
No
So
way.
my first 7 years of living in Canada, was in Westlock.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
So in many ways, I refer to it as a bit of my hometown, even though I was born and raised in Vietnam. But in Canada, it is my hometown. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Very cool.
So tell us, in terms of so it sounds like you'll continue working on that Paula's Pantry and evolve and sort of continue with that. Obviously, you're continuing your work with the career development and aspects of that are kind of professional services. And then, of course, bodybuilding will always take some time and dedication from you and whatnot. Let me delve into the kind of the obstacle racing topic for a moment. We've seen some photos that flashed by there. I'm going to perhaps focus on them a little bit more as you tell us about how you got into that and why you got into that, what you got out of it, and why you kind of quote unquote retired from it and went on to bodybuilding.
Yeah, for sure. So it was really interesting. I didn't really know anything about obstacle course racing when I always say when I found fitness at 40. I love that it all starts with F's.
There you go.
So the gym that I was going to, that I was doing my boot camp classes at and my spin classes at, they were really, really into obstacle course racing. So my Johnny B Fit crew, if any of them are watching, I love them to bits. They were the reason that I got fit. And fell in love with fitness. So they were doing obstacle course races, and probably it would have been, I started those classes in January, and that April, I think they were doing their first race, and they were like, "Oh, come on, Paula, it'll be fun. It'll be fun." I was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'm going to go do this obstacle course race." I had no idea what I was getting myself into. Not a clue. I mean, we had done some training, but I had never done a race, so I didn't know. But so we went, and actually the race was at Westlock at Tawatna.
Ski hill. That was my first, and actually, sadly, my only ski hill I ever skied on. Actually, maybe I went to one more, but that was definitely my first. And so Tawatna ski hill, in school.
So
I got to tell you one funny thing. So on that first or second trip to Tawatna ski hill, as I was coming down, I ran into my French teacher. Like I ran into her, not just ran into her, but ran into her. Yeah, it was.
Did you say, "Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle"?
I said, "Mais oui." No.
Oh dear, my French is awful. I'm sorry, that was bad. I shouldn't have even tried. Oh, that's awful. Hopefully, she forgave you.
Yes, I'm sure. I hope, I assume. So continue, my friend, on this. You got into this. How long did you do it? And what are some of the interesting insights you gained from doing that?
Sure. So it was about 4 years that I did that, and I did like a ton of races. The first year, not a lot. By the second year, I was full in. I was like ready to get a Spartan tattoo. I was in hook, line, and sinker. If there was a race, I was signed up. We were going. It was out of control. And my second year of racing, I actually qualified to compete at the World Championships, which were being held in just outside of Toronto at Blue Mountain. And so I was like, well, I qualified. I guess I better go. So went and competed with people from all over the world, which was so super, super cool. Had, a blast. I think one of the things that I really enjoyed the most about obstacle course racing, I sucked at obstacles. Some of them I found fairly easy, but a lot of them were really, really hard for me. And it was frustrating for me that I couldn't do all of them. And it seemed no matter how hard I trained or how much I practiced, I just couldn't do it. So there was a lot of frustration with obstacle course racing. But still so much fun because all my friends were there, and, it was a weekend away, and we'd, rent a house, or we'd, stay in hotels, and, there was road trips, and it was just a fun way to be able to hang out with my friends and, meet new people. So many of the people that I have as friends on Facebook or that I'm connected with on Instagram are from my obstacle course racing days. And as much as I loved it, and as much as it gave me a sense of, I don't know, identity, I guess, like I was, part of the obstacle course racing gang. It was also, that part of the frustration and my body not doing what I wanted it to do, I think led me to want to try something different and push myself in a different way and really push myself out of my comfort zone. And I couldn't think of anything as far out of my comfort zone as standing on a stage in 5-inch heels and a bikini that barely covers anything. And hence bodybuilding.
Yeah, thank you for that story. I appreciate it. And tell us a little bit about your family. I saw a family photo there. I'm going to go back to it. And tell us a little bit about your family, my friend.
Yeah, so Paula. I have a beautiful, beautiful daughter, Callie. She's 23 now and in university. She's in her final year of her Bachelor of Arts in Political Science.
Wow.
I'm so very, very proud of her. She was 10 when Jay and I got married. And oh my gosh, we look so young. It was like forever ago. That was 2007 we got married. We just had our 13-year anniversary. And my mom and my sister in that picture. And then Jay's family in the other wedding photo. So I met Jay through a friend when I had completely given up on ever meeting anybody. I was so done. I did not want to date. I was going to never get married. I was just so done. And then Jay found his way into my life, and we've been together ever since. And he's been a tremendous support, and, is kind of always willing to go along for any adventure that I'm up to. We lovingly call him Race Husband because he basically takes care of all of us whenever whether it's a race or competition or, whatever adventure we're doing. He's a planner at heart. He's got the spreadsheets out and things packed and follows us around with the camera and takes pictures. And yeah, he's just, he's happy to come along for the ride and be a part of the fun.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that as well. And, as I go back to the career development work that you do. I have a few photos and perhaps some videos as well. But tell us about how you discovered that career development career, and obviously it suits you because you stuck at it for decades now, maybe 15 years at least. I'm hearing.
Yeah, probably closer to 20 now.
20, yeah.
So yeah, career development. Like most people in career development, it's something that, we just kind of fall into. I didn't even know that career development was a thing when I started doing career development. I had been working with persons with developmental disabilities, and then I had been working with people with physical disabilities, kind of as a life coach more than anything, I guess, helping them with their daily living activities and, just being a part of their life and helping them to navigate the universe. And after I finished my rehabilitation services diploma, I had got a call from the manager of the career center in Olds, and I'd worked for his wife previously doing some other stuff. And he said, hey, we're looking for an employment specialist. My wife thinks you would be, she highly recommended you. She thinks you would be a great fit for this. I know that you haven't really done career development stuff, but that's okay. We can train you. We know that you've got, the right personality. You're the right fit. And so we'll train you with whatever you need. I was like, okay. I had no idea what kind of work I was going to do if I wanted to continue to do the same kind of work when I had finished that rehabilitation services diploma. I thought maybe I'd manage a group home. I didn't really know. And so that opportunity knocked, and I thought, oh, this sounds kind of cool. I'm always up for a challenge. And so I started doing that work, basically not even knowing what career development was. Found out about our professional association, the Career Development Association of Alberta. Found out that they had an annual conference. So I started going to the conference, and then I started volunteering for the conference. Then I started volunteering for the association. Pretty soon I was the chair of the board. Then my term as the chair came up, and then they contracted me as the executive director and event planner. So it's just been kind of this ever evolving thing. Outside of my work with the military, I don't do much, if any, one-on-one work. I've really kind of shifted my career more to the professionalization of the field side of things. So supporting practitioners through conferences and professional development. I sit on our National Career Development Association board. I'm doing some work with a steering committee, 2 steering committees around renewing a competency framework and developing a national certification. So that's really where my kind of interest in the field is. And not that I don't think that the work that needs to be done frontline helping people individually is important, but I find that my passion has shifted more to supporting the profession, supporting the field, and supporting practitioners so that they can be the best that they can be, and deliver, quality services to the people that need that support and assistance.
Yeah, you bet. And again, you have that clarity that comes from having worked in the front line, quote unquote, for a long time. And so now it's just turning your attention to the other side of it, which you now have clarity of. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
So you have, I'm sure, met a whole lot of people through this professional association. Do you recall, roughly speaking, how many members there are, out there?
Yeah, so our professional association in Alberta has about 300 paid members. We have a network of well over 1,500 people that are, working in or kind of on the peripheries of the field that aren't necessarily members, but are certainly connected, attend our events, those kinds of things. And I would say that beyond that, there's probably another I don't know, 3, 4, 5,000 people that are doing career work in some way, shape, or form. They maybe don't know that what they're doing is career development work, or maybe they're doing it as part of another job title or occupational title. There's lots of people that provide support and assistance in the career development, in the career and employment sphere. That may not call it that. There's people that write resumes. There's people that do interview coaching. There's all of the recruiting and training and development and facilitation that people do that sometimes they don't necessarily recognize as part of the career development services that are offered under our scope of practice.
Yeah. Now, I just thought I would put up the website address there. Are there any aspects or any pages on the website that you wanted to highlight for our viewers, my friend? Or I mean, they can just visit that address there that I'm showing here.
Yeah, definitely. Certainly, visit the address. We do. It was a hard year this year. We had to cancel our annual conference. So if any of my career development people are listening in or watching, we all of the conference information for May 2021 is up on the ACDC conference page. I'm just in the process of switching all of the registration information from October to May. We were supposed to have our conference in May. It got postponed to October. And we just, not very long ago, had to cancel our October conference too, just because things were too uncertain.
Yeah. So, as a musician, and with a lot of fellow musicians that are either watching now or later on, who are in my circle of friends, I must highlight the name of the organization for Alberta. Did you say it's ACDC?
It is ACDC. So, funny story, Dune. You know Herky. I know you know Herky.
I know Herky, yes.
For our first ACDC conference, Herky was our MC, and he came and was like dressed up like Angus. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. And was like rocking out and singing. He rewrote lyrics. I can't even remember to which ACDC song, but like made them career development lyrics. Oh my gosh, it was the funniest thing ever. So the funniest thing ever.
Yes. If you look at or watch one of the previous episodes where Herky was on this conversation here with me a couple months back, you'll see that video being shared on that particular interview with Herky.
Oh, no way. Oh, that's so awesome. I have to go back and have a look now. That's great. Yeah, it was priceless. Like the whole room was just in stitches.
Yeah. ACDC, that's cool.
He's a long-time member of actually, he's a lifetime member. We have a lifetime membership category. So you have to be nominated and get selected. And Herky's now one of our lifetime members because he's been a part of the association for forever.
He was ACDC before ACDC was cool.
He was.
Just kidding. I'm referring to the country song that you might have heard. I was country, and country wasn't cool. No, anyway, I see some delivery people at my door here, but I think my wife will handle that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the Amazon phenomenon, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah. I know it's been a steady stream of packages at our door. My daughter has been stockpiling things for her inevitable move out at some point. There's been a steady stream of boxes and packages showing up at the door. Nothing ever for me, just bills in the mail. I don't ever get packages at the door.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So hopefully you have a little bit of time flexibility. We can continue past the hour here, Paula, maybe?
Sure. Yeah, this is fun. I'd do this all day.
There you go. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about kind of, again, as you work with the Career Development Association of Alberta, what's the reason that you are so passionate about that? Do you see yourself kind of transitioning to some other roles. What does that look like, a few years out? Tell us a bit more about your work with that association. Herky's been around for a long time, being a lifetime member. At one point, perhaps you might get that status as well.
I do actually. I did get a lifetime membership. I have one as well. So
there you go. Okay.
Herky and I are in good company with each other.
Yeah. Tell us more.
So I think that, I really enjoy the connection with our members. I really enjoy, supporting them and helping them to navigate in whatever way we can, the resources and the supports that are available to help them be the best that they can be at the work that they do. I'm feeling a little bit more pull to some of the national initiatives. Not that I don't still love planning our conference and working with our board and all of those things, but I feel like there's an opportunity nationally for career development to get a little bit more recognition, to become a little bit more recognized, to have a little bit better, recognition and reputation. And the work around the competency framework that we're developing and around national certification is something that I'm really, really excited about. I would love at some point to be able to teach in a career development program, not necessarily how to write resumes or those kinds of things, which it's often the first thing people think of when you talk about career development. They're like, oh, you write resumes? Well, I help people develop their resumes, but that's a tiny piece of, the bigger career development picture. So, I do feel sometimes like I would like to perhaps teach in a career development program. I really like training. I really like facilitating, speaking. I've been asked if I would be interested in doing keynotes. People keep saying things like I'm really inspiring and I have, a great story to share. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, I just don't know if what I have to say would be, interesting enough, or if I could package it up the right way, to be a keynote. But I would love to be a keynote speaker. Can you imagine how much I love being on stage in a bikini and heels. Like, of course I would love to be a keynote presenter. Like, get me on stage. I'm there.
Yeah. And then after that, once you're done with that and it becomes old hats, you can do what Herky did and dress up as AC/DC, strap on a guitar and rock out at your AC/DC conferences.
That's right. The closest I'll ever get to playing anything. I did start taking ukulele lessons. I think I learned how to play like 4 chords or something.
Well,
and then no one at home wanted to listen to me practice anymore. They made me stop.
4 chords is more than some songs required. Some songs only require 3 chords, my friend. And the truth, they say. 3 chords and the truth, they say.
I might have to bring my ukulele and come jam with you because I'm not allowed to play at home anymore.
They found you out. Hey, they found you out. Wonderful. So as we let me ask, as we pause here for a moment, are there aspects or areas that you want to talk about that we haven't gotten to yet, Paula? I have more questions for you, but are there areas that you wanted to veer over to or to kind of mosey on over there? And feel free.
No, I've loved our conversation so far. You've asked some really, great questions, and I'm certainly, I've got lots of different things that I'm interested in, which is exciting. You did ask, and I just wanted to make sure that I kind of followed up and finished my thought on this. You had made a comment about, Paula's Pantry will continue. And it's been so interesting because it's always something that I did because I love doing it and it was fun. 500 pounds of cucumbers, not this year, but last year, was not fun. And it almost broke me to the point where I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
anymore at all. Like I just about gave me a breakdown. So I'm trying to find ways to make it manageable, so that it's still fun and so that it's still something that I enjoy doing and so that I don't cry into my pickle jars when I'm filling them. But I do waffle a little bit between, you know, keeping it a fun kind of on the side hobby or going all in, you know, and getting a space, having a commercial kitchen that's not my kitchen, because my poor family during the summer, like, we don't cook in the kitchen, we don't eat in the kitchen. Like, the kitchen is for making pickles and jam and jelly and relish, and if you want to eat, you're going to have to go out. You know, so trying to find that balance. And so I waffle a lot between keeping it, you know, small and a hobby and fun, or going all in and just doing Paula's Pantry. And I haven't yet come to any decisions on that, but it's always on my mind for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Let me share this video here as just a bit of a sidetrack from this current conversation. I'm going to bring it in. Tell us about this video before I hit play, Paula.
Oh, I know exactly which video that is. So a couple of years ago at the conference in, I'm pretty sure that was New Brunswick. It was during Canada Career Month, which is November. And they were doing a challenge to have people talk about why they felt that they were, you know, like, inspiring career development. And so I did this little video kind of as my plug to get people going to do their own videos, and yeah, posted it on the social media and got some other people inspired to do videos too.
Yeah, let's take a listen.
Hi there, my name is Paula Wischoff Yerama. Happy Career Month. I know I can motivate and inspire other career development practitioners, because when I talk about career development and when I talk about certification and when I talk about our standards and guidelines, I see people's eyes light up, I see them get excited, and they often come up and talk to me afterwards about how they can get involved and what they can do to make a difference in their profession.
Wonderful.
And it's true. People, like, I get teased relentlessly about my enthusiasm for career development. They were calling me the Kool-Aid. You remember the Kool-Aid man? Like, it was like from the 70s or 80s or something, the big Kool-Aid jug that like came busting through the brick wall. They called me the Kool-Aid man of career development.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's a compliment. I don't know.
I have another video that, while we're on videos here, we're gonna play this other one here, and let me just cue up the other one here briefly here, my friend. And yeah, let's do this short one first. It's a bit of a coming back to that topic that we shared earlier, but let me go ahead and bring it in here, and we'll have a quick look at this, and tell us about this.
Monkey bars. Oh my gosh, one of my very favorite races ever. I think that was was it maybe Black Ops or Wilderness? I can't remember. Anyways, a long race, like either a 6 or a 12-hour race. And I had been struggling to get through the monkey bars, but I made it through this time. And there was a little bit of a happy dance at the end. So these races were it's called the Boneyard, out by Peanut Lake by Barhead.
Okay.
They have the most amazing facility there. So they hosted a number of different ex-warrior obstacle course races. They're some of my very favorite obstacle course races.
Hey, hearing Barhead brought back some memories just now. And, you know, Thunder Lake is not too far from Barhead. And we used to go to Thunder Lake all of the time. Like, that was our lake.
That was your, like, getaway in the summertime place.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thunder Lake was our first lake that we discovered and enjoyed and kept going there for a long time.
Oh, cool. Fun.
There you are.
There I go. Hit the bell. Yes, I was so happy.
Yeah, among the green trees and shrubberies and yeah, outdoors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Black Ops. So this was a 12-hour race, Dune. We started at like, I don't know, 9 o'clock at night or something. And we raced all night through till like 9 o'clock the next morning.
Mm.
And it was as many laps as you could do. It was ridiculous, but so much fun. Like, had the time of my life.
Very cool. Very cool. Now I'm going to bring up one more video that I have here. And this is I think a longer video. We're going to watch some of it. And let me know if you want me to fast forward to a certain part. But this video, I'll just bring it in so you know which video I'm thinking of here. I'm going to just go ahead and do that and bring it in here. Tell us about this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So COVID comes and I have a little bit more time on my hands than I normally do. And people kept asking me about baking stuff. I got a little bit crazy with the baking. My poor husband was like, you need to stop baking. Like, I can't eat all of this. You have to stop. So I had decided, it was like, oh, I'm going to make some baking videos, knowing absolutely nothing about how to film a video. I did this like with the wooden spoon in one hand and my camera in the other, like trying to video myself doing so bad.
Well, you know, when you roll the credits on this video, you can say, you know, Paula, she's the cook, she's the helper, she's also the videographer.
So bad.
Let me roll this clip here.
I think this was the last one that I had done. I'd done 3 or 4, created a YouTube channel, and then I kind of gave up on it. I need to get back to this. It was a lot of fun, and I think I have a lot to learn, so I can definitely have fun with it.
Yeah, you bet.
Happy sunny Sunday, friends. Just popping by with a quick little afternoon muffin recipe. I used things that I had available in the house for this. So just to go over quickly the recipe, in the bowl on the right that is very, very full and has a wooden spoon in it, I've got a cup of oats, a cup of apple butter, which I made last year and put some in the freezer for baking purposes. You can use applesauce, whatever you've got handy. So 1 cup of oats, 1 cup of applesauce or apple butter, a half a cup of milk, 1 egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 4 tablespoons of melted butter or coconut oil. I used coconut oil, 1/3 a cup of sugar, and then I mixed that all up together. And then in my larger bowl, I've mixed together 3/4 of a cup of flour. I used white flour because that was all I had, but you could certainly use whole wheat if you wanted. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I think that was everything. So, oh, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Sorry, I've got cinnamon in there too. So I mixed that up. I've put a little well in the flour so that when I pour in the wet ingredients, it kind of fills up the bowl from the middle out. And then I'm going to add in, I had some frozen blueberries and I had some coconut in the freezer downstairs. And I thought, oh, that might be fun to add in. You could add in raisins, you could add in dried cranberries or dried blueberries or cherries, whatever you like. Really, put chocolate chips in there if you like, whatever makes your heart happy. I've got blueberry and coconut in mine.
Whatever makes your heart happy.
So you'll probably
that's a good recipe. Whatever makes you happy. So you're making happiness.
For the
right?
recipe that I
Spreading joy everywhere I go. And this is totally how I bake. Like, oh, I got a little bit of this, I got a little bit of that, I'm going to throw it together and see what happens.
So I'm just going to mix everything
People
together.
ask me for recipes all of the time, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't remember how I made things.
I usually don't when I make muffins. I usually just grease
I must say, you have a good speaking voice there, my friend, for doing these things. So,
oh, thank you. Well, coming from a professional professional speaker, I will take that as a compliment. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you do have a great speaking voice, and so keep at it. Whether it's cooking or whatever it is, you know, keep with this video thing. I think it might take you somewhere where you can maybe again exercise another area of your interest that may dovetail into some other areas as well.
There we go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that.
Experiment, right? Experiment, and
right.
these days, yeah.
Those
As long
were
as
really good muffins, by the way.
oh, I can tell. I can tell. So, so what I want to do is I want to bring in some photos again, and we're going to slowly wind our way down to the finish line there, my friend, on this conversation segment here. And so as I bring in some more photos here, tell us, you know, when you think about your various careers and all of those different things, and all of the insights and lessons learned, if I ask you to kind of distill it down to 3 big lessons from your careers and from your work and from your play, that may be helpful to folks who are listening and watching, what might those 3 insights or lessons be? And you know, if you feel like reviewing a story behind that insight, that'd be cool too.
Yeah. So, you know, it's really interesting. Probably the 3 biggest ones have become more clear to me in the last little while. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest one is sometimes saying yes is more important than saying no, and being willing to, you know, consider things that are outside of, you know, what was your original plan or what you thought was going to happen or the thing that you wanted to do. I find sometimes the most joy and excitement and passion comes from saying yes to things that, you know, might at first feel like an automatic no. So that's been a really big one for me lately, you know, like just considering possibilities.
Be more open is what I'm hearing.
Be open. Yeah, be open. And kind of hand in hand with that is, somebody once told me, the line was borrow belief. So I haven't often believed in myself, like at all. Zero confidence, low self-esteem, right? Just like compare myself to others. I'm not worthy, right? All of that negative kind of stuff. And a lot of people have told me that they believed in me and that they, you know, they've told me all of the amazing things that they see in me. And I just never believed them. I thought they were lying to me. Somebody once said, borrow the belief from me until you believe it yourself. Mm-hmm. And that really like got me hard. And I've been practicing that. I've been borrowing other people's belief until I've been able to believe myself. And I think that has made a tremendous difference in my life, because I'm now finally, I'm 45 and I'm finally starting to believe some of the things that people have been seeing in me for my entire life. Mm-hmm. And so that's been really cool. It's been scary, like super scary, and weird and awkward, but also really, really cool. And the confidence that has come with that has allowed me to be more open, and has allowed me to say yes to things that I would have never believed possible, like that photo shoot. Mm-hmm. You know, like starting a direct sales business just last week, launching that mm-hmm. on the weekend. You know, yeah. So that would be another one. Borrow belief as long as you have to get to that place of confidence and self-belief. And I think the third one is you are always stronger than you know you are. And sometimes you just need to put yourself in situations to test that and build from those successes. And strong in all of the ways that people are strong, being resilient, being mentally strong, being physically strong, being able to push through tough times, being able to overcome challenges, all of those sorts of things. In career, in life, in hobbies, with family, in all of those situations. It's interesting when I see these pictures flash by, so many of them have been about me overcoming obstacles and like sheer grit and determination and absolute unstoppable, that just feeling of like, I can't stop, I can't quit, I can't give up, I have to keep going. And I've always just kept going. And good things have always come, may not have been the outcome that I wanted, but good things have always come from not quitting.
Mm-hmm.
So that perseverance and
your one of your first careers that you are still deep in is career development as a career development professional. But really, you have, in the stories that you have shared a lot of really personal development stories. And that's another area of your life that you can take into the next segment of your journey, my friend, is so Paula, to think about, maybe helping people with personal development beyond careers in some cases.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I said in one of my Facebook posts one time, I said, your career is much more than your job. And then I also say your life is much more than your career.
Absolutely. When we talk about career development, it's about all of the things that you do in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Work is just one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Work is just one of the things that we do that's part of career.
Wonderful, yeah. Wonderful. Now, you have sort of sprung a bit of a news flash here that you didn't mention earlier. You said you just launched a direct sales business last week. It just rolled off the tongue there. Tell us more about that.
So Sunday,
when you had a bit of time, when the pickles were not quite ready.
Right, I know, right? Like, where in the world did I? So I think it was Friday or Saturday, a bodybuilding friend of mine sends me a message and says, hey, I think you would be, great at this business. You should join my team. Well, I was like, oh. I'm like, well, I don't really know. So it's Zaya Active, which is activewear, which is basically what I would be if I weren't visiting with you right now, Dune. I would be in my tank top and my leggings, like ready to go to the gym. But I put on a pretty sweater for you. So I mean, I'm not passionate about clothing at all. Mm-hmm. I don't care to go shopping. I'm really quite happy in my leggings and my tank tops and my Converse shoes. But I am really passionate about fitness, and I am really passionate about helping people feel their best and look their best and be their best. And so when she asked me if it was something that I was interested in, I didn't really know anything about the product, but it was one of those be open to opportunity kind of situations. Mm-hmm. And I felt like the opportunity was a good one, and that I could learn about the products and that I could figure that side of it out, kind of like I did when I started in career development. I didn't know anything about writing resumes or, doing any of the career development stuff, but I had all of those other skills that were a good fit. Mm-hmm. And so I did a bunch of reading. I looked on the website. I talked to some people. I talked to my husband, and by Sunday, so within
hold on, Paula. Could you repeat the last 5 seconds? Your video went out there.
Oh, goodness. Yes, of course. So she had contacted me on Friday after doing some research and connecting with people, talking to my husband. By Sunday, I had decided that, this was an opportunity that I was going to say yes to. And I had my Facebook group set up and was launching a party and, posting live videos on my feed. And, I think I've got almost 100, if not 100, of my peeps that have agreed to come along for the ride and, be a part of my Facebook group. So super excited about that. My enrollment kit is on its way, which means new activewear. I'm so excited. And I don't know where it's going to take me. At this point, I don't envision building an empire with it or anything like that. But I'm excited to see where it goes and what I can do with it and just have fun with it. I've already met some new and amazing people, which is so much fun for me. I love meeting new people.
But of course, a couple of decades ago, you didn't know you'd be doing career development work either until somebody tapped you on the shoulder and recommended you to somebody, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I wouldn't have been doing Paula's Pantry if someone hadn't said, hey, can I buy a jar of jam from you? Right? So
recognize this?
I do. Yeah. That's awesome. Find your fabulous fit. I have this thing with F's. I don't know what it is. Like found fitness at 40, find your fabulous fit.
There you go. The first F I think of is Fender, but that's just me, the guitarist.
Oh, yeah, that's your guitar guy.
Yeah. So there it is, right?
Fender Stratocaster, is that a thing? That's for Wayne's
you
World.
bet.
That's all
Yeah. You see that?
Yeah, there's our sizing chart and today's new release day. I'm sure they've already launched the new products and I've missed it, but that's okay. I'll catch up.
There you go. So cool. Well, best wishes with that, and congrats on yet another initiative that you're plugging yourself in, and it actually dovetails with your work with the bodybuilding and fitness and competition and obstacle race. All of those things are culminating, my friend. You are starting to be recognized as somebody not just in the career development space to be a rock star there, but also in the fitness. People are starting to say, you know what, I want Paula on my team, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great way to look at it. I love that. Love that perspective for sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that late breaking, literally just last week on Sunday, you said, right?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's fantastic. So Paula, as we wrap this up here, were there anything else that you wanted to cover that we haven't covered, my friend, before I ask you a couple of wrap-up questions?
No, I don't think I have any other late breaking news.
Okay. Well, we'll wait till next week. Who knows what happened by next
week?
By next Wednesday, there might be another initiative. But
sign up to become a personal trainer or something. Who knows? I don't even know.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you what I've asked of some of other guests, which is if you can think about 3 words. It could be, in a phrase. It could be 3 words that are independent words that you want our viewers to kind of keep in mind as they think about this conversation that we've had here with you. What might those words be that you want to highlight for our folks?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would say grit. Not grits, although that could be a part of it. Grit. Confidence. And fire.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, I was a little surprised that they were not all F, starting with an F.
I know. I did get one in there. I got C. I got my career development C in there. I got my fitness F in there. And the G, I don't know. There's just something about the word grit that I just, yes, grit.
Well, fantastic. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And again, Paula, thank you so much for spending an hour and a bit with us today and sharing your journey and your stories and your insights along the way, and lots of experiences, and best wishes with your continued endeavors there, as well as new ones that you're starting up here and maybe in the future.
Thank you so much, Dune. It was such a pleasure chatting with you. I've enjoyed this immensely, and it's been a long time since we've had coffee, so it was nice to be able to catch up.
Yeah, tell the folks out there, this was painless, right?
Oh my gosh, like so super easy. Dune is like a technical wizard, so even any of the technical things that I was terrified about, he totally alleviated all of that, and he just made it lots of fun, and it was enjoyable for sure.
Wonderful. Well, we appreciate you spending time with us today, my friend. I know you have a lot of things on the go. And so, folks, you have been listening to Paula Wischoff Yerama.
Yeah, there you go.
Let me get that right. Paula Wischoff Yerama. I was confident. I was too confident. I should have looked at the name when I, right. So Paula Wischoff Yerama. And take good care of yourself, folks. Take good care of one another. Until we meet again, have yourself a wonderful day. Thanks again, Paula.
Thanks so much, Dune. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening.